Checking in right now with Joe Oster of Porky's, and Porky's a brand new client here on our show today, and we're going to be talking about him live tomorrow. But I wanted to get him in today for something else. The PA Hero Walk is happening, and it's happening today. And actually, they're going to be coming. These are wounded warriors who have been walking. They started out the other day in the VA hospital in Coatesville. I'm going to talk to Joe Oster here this morning, owner of Porky's, about that, who is a veteran himself from the Vietnam War and former Marine, and he's with us here on the Gary Sutton Show, and we certainly thank Joe for his service. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Gary. How are you?
Doing very well, and everybody knows you more importantly as Porky. Porky's right out there on Lincoln Highway East, and we're going to talk about a special place to meet today for that. But tell us, you and I were talking yesterday, and you were told me about this Wounded Warrior March or this Wounded Warrior Walk that they're doing. Tell us what's going on.
Well, a fellow out of Pittsburgh organizes it every year. It's an annual event. They start actually in Philadelphia, and they walk from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. Of course, not all in one day.
Right, absolutely.
It goes over quite a few days, but they have an itinerary. They stop here, there, and whatnot, and every year on an annual basis, they stop here as well. And we, give them refreshments and feed them and whatnot. And they just kind of rest here a little bit, but on the way, what they do is they collect money for wounded warriors.
Right.
And this fellow that's in, can't think of his last name. His first name's Al. He's a great guy. He's from Pittsburgh. He always sets a goal, and they usually gather about $100,000 or so from one end of the state to the other, which is fantastic. And we have a can here at our place that we keep here all year, and then we present them with a can.
Right.
And people stop by and give money when they're here, or else as they're going along the road, they're collecting money as well as they're walking.
Now, today I know is sponsored by Mount View VFW and also Porky's. And they left Lancaster at 8 this morning, and they're walking west right now, and they're going to arrive at 11:30 in Columbia at the Catholic War Vets Post 1306 in Columbia. So if you wanted to stop there and help contribute, we'd like to help out the Wounded Warriors. I don't think there's ever a time you wouldn't want to help them. They're arriving at 1 p.m. at the Wrightsville American Legion Post 469, so you can help there. And then at 3 o'clock, they're arriving at Porky's in Hellam after walking 21 miles. You're going to have a very special thing for them at Porky's today in Hellam. Tell us a little bit about that. It might be a good time at 3 o'clock for people to bop out there and also contribute to Wounded Warriors.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. It would be great if people could stop and help them out, or not necessarily here on the way, or even they'll be leaving here after about an hour or so and continue their walk up into York, Center City, which is where it would end today. Right. But we pretty much give them whatever they want. Whatever if they want a sandwich, or today my wife's putting together some fresh fruit salad. Thought that'd be a little refreshing for them, and some drinks, water, spring water, or soda, or fresh brewed tea, whatever they want. It's pretty much their choice, and they just sit and relax a little bit, and we chat with them. We just do it every year. I see some familiar faces. Some years I see new faces, and it's really great to meet and greet these people.
They're going to be, and they do some backpedaling while they're here, but the total distance completed at the end of today will be 94 miles that they have walked so far. And again, you can see them along Route 30, or along Route 462, actually, right? They're going to be coming across the old bridge and the old Route 30. So if you see them, and they'll be in Hellam in Wrightsville, rather, at 1 o'clock. They'll be at Porky's at 3 o'clock. In fact, you're offering kind of a free drink if people just stop by and donate, right?
Yeah, anybody who wants to stop here at my place today, certainly not I'm not doing this to solicit my business.
Right,
so what I thought I'd do is somebody wants to stop and contribute to these guys. I mean, you'll give it directly to them. While you're here, you can come into our new house of barbecue and grab a refreshment free of charge. There's no charge for that today. I'm a veteran myself, and I just love doing this, and I'd love to see a lot of people come here today and just do that for them. It would be great.
And when we come back, Joe, I want to talk a little bit about some other places that are going to be here in the area for the next 2 days through Friday. So we're going to come back and talk a little bit more with Joe Oster right here on the Gary Sutton Show about the Wounded Warriors. They're arriving today at 11:30 in Columbia. Catholic War Vets Post 1306, and then 1 o'clock at the Wrightsville American Legion Post 469, just on the other side of the bridge here, and that's on 462. And then they're arriving at 3 o'clock at Porky's in Hellam, and they are collecting money to help wounded warriors. I can't think of a better cause. So, when we come back, we'll ask Joe a little bit more about some upcoming things that are happening tomorrow and Friday with these wounded warriors. Joe, a vet himself, and we thank him for his service. We'll be right back with Joe Oster, Porky, about what's happening for the wounded warriors here in the Gary Sutton Show on WSBA. Welcome back to the Gary Sutton Show on WSBA. We're visiting with Joe Porky Oster. You know more as Porky out there at 4223. That's 4223 Lincoln Highway East in York, PA. Some people say just outside of Hellam as you're traveling east. But, Joe, I thought about something this morning. We line up for the rods when they come to York, and I know you're an old car guy yourself, but here's a chance to line up for the vets and help our wounded warriors today out on Route 462. And I think from 11:30 until they get to your place at 1 o'clock, 11:30 at the Wrightsville location at the Veterans of Foreign Affairs, and now getting out to your place at 3 o'clock, here's a chance to line up for the vets, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm hoping that this is a record year for them. There's a lot of people that aren't even aware of this annual event. So
I know tomorrow they're going to be around the area too. Though they're actually heading out to off to I think Gettysburg tomorrow. Am I correct on that?
Tomorrow, that's Friday. Tomorrow they work their way. They start back up in Hellam tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Right.
And then they work their way up to Cross Keys up there at Route 94 and Route 30, and then they're going to backtrack, and they're invited to the York Post 556 VFW for a dinner at 6:30 tomorrow evening. But tomorrow they'll complete. Now tomorrow they're only going to get maybe 10 miles or so in.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I mean you and I walk that every day, right? I mean, it's no big deal.
I do it backwards, but anyhow.
and then Friday, I know Nefer Printing here in York is sponsoring them, and they're going to be going to a very special place here, I think, for all veterans in York at 7 p.m. that night. They're going to actually go to Gettysburg. They'll walk from Cross Keys to Gettysburg, which is another 12 miles, but then they'll come back here, and they'll have walked 116 miles. At that point in time, they're going to have that ceremony at the Gold Star Mothers Healing Garden in York, PA, right out there at the stadium, right?
Correct.
Not at Santander Stadium, at the softball stadium, the old Memorial Park there.
Yes, exactly. Right at the Veterans Memorial, where that is, right next to it, they built a very nice memorial healing garden. They call it the Gold Star Mothers Healing Garden. I just saw it for the first time this Memorial Day. It's been there for a year or so, but that's the first I got a chance to see it. Yeah, you got to go. It's a very, very nice place.
Joe, about a minute left here. You were a veteran. And when you see these guys, I know there are all you guys are brothers in service. But what are your thoughts when you see these guys walk in there to the parking lot today and sit down and break bread with you for a little bit?
Well, the ones that are allowed to walk, it's great just to sit and talk. We try not to talk too much about the past as much, maybe the good times, of course, and then the ones that the actual. We do get a couple guys that are actual wounded warriors as well. My heart bleeds for them. I just I was very lucky to come back in one piece from Vietnam, and I respect all those guys. I mean, every single one of them. Not. I mean, the wounded warriors.
I know.
Very much, but we're all wounded in our own way, not maybe in the flesh, but mentally, physically, works on you because your heart bleeds for these guys. And
great way to say it, Joe.
Yeah.
3 o'clock today at Porky's.
Yeah.
Right out there at 4223 Lincoln Highway East in York, and you can also see them at Columbia today at 11:30. There'll be a Catholic War Vets Post 1306, and then at 1 o'clock at the Wrightsville American Legion Post at 469. Stop by and see Porky when you're out there, and you get a free drink just for helping out the wounded warriors. Joe, thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you very soon, my friend.
All right, Gary. Thank you for what you did today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Joe Oster, also known as Porky. And again, you can check it out today at 4223 Lincoln Highway East, 3 o'clock, and contribute and help the wounded warriors. And don't be afraid to line up out there in 462 and help them out. They'll be walking by you today between 1 o'clock and also 3 o'clock.